Perfect, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Over here.
Quick radio check here, gentlemen. Jack, can you hear me? You can hear me, Jack? Thumbs out that window. All right, let's try that again. Jack, if you can hear me, thumbs out that window. Good. Brian? Travis? Beautiful. Let's roll those windows up, gentlemen. For this exercise, for this track session, excuse me, we're going to do 3 consecutive laps per driver behind me. This is going to give you a lap time. Now with this, gentlemen, you are going to have to leave your PRs recording until we get back to the building, and I've grabbed your lap times from you at your driver door. Now if you look at your dash, you'll see a tab that says Performance. Underneath of that, it says Lap Timer. At the end of the session, you're going to see Best underneath of there and a time. Okay, that is going to be your lap time. Remember that if you want. Again, I am going to grab that lap time from you at the end of the session. Now, we are going to start off with a warm-up lap, gentlemen. This warm-up lap is going to be about half pace. So kind of like what we did this morning. Once we're done with the warm-up lap, then at that point, you can drive your own comfortable pace when you are behind me. If you're in the middle or the back, you're just keeping that spacing of 6 to 7 car lengths, and again, still driving your comfortable pace. Now, our pace up front, when you are behind us, is going to depend on how well you're doing. If you're doing everything correctly, you're turning in at the right time, you're braking enough coming into the corners, then we will go as fast as you want. However, if you start turning in too early, you're not braking enough coming into the corners, we are going to slow you down and talk about that specific thing in general and have you work on it through those corners, okay? So again, drive your own comfortable pace during this session. That is entirely up to you on what you want your pace to be. Remember, our first session, we were going no more than 60 or 70 miles an hour. For this session, you get to drive whatever pace you want. Keep in mind, we did rotate each and every single lap. This one, we are not going to rotate until after the 3rd lap. Okay, so again, each driver will have 3 consecutive laps behind me before we rotate. Because of that, gentlemen, you are going to carry a lot more speed on the straightaways. Because of that, we have to have a more firm brake than we did this morning because we are applying that throttle. And when I do say accelerate, gentlemen, when we're coming out of these corners, it's entirely up to you on how much you want to accelerate. If you want to accelerate to full, that's entirely up to you if you want to do that. If you're more comfortable going half throttle or about 80%, right, you just feel that out. Of course, you can go to full coming out of all these corners, but again, when I tell you to accelerate, That is entirely up to you on how much you want to accelerate, okay? Just make sure you brake nice and firm for all of the corners coming up ahead. At this time, gentlemen, click up on the drive toggle, put those cars into manual mode. Now, with the warm-up lap, I do recommend that you stay close to me and the person in front of you. And follow me. The reason I say I want you close to me and the person in front of you is the closer you are, the more it's going to make sense of what I'm telling you. If you start to back off 6, 7, 10, 20 car lengths, it's not going to make sense of what I'm telling you coming into the corners. What I mean by that, gentlemen, is during this warm-up lap, I am going to talk you through the corners as if we're doing a fast lap. So coming into the corners, how much we brake, when we brake, and when to balance, when to coast, when to accelerate. So again, the closer you are, the easier it's going to be to understand where we're at, right? So try to stay close, about 1 car length or less, perfectly fine. As soon as we're done with the warm-up lap, I'll tell you when that is, and then we'll keep that spacing from there. We are going to give the group in front of us some space before we enter the track, so we'll stop here for just a second. Now, before we enter the track, gentlemen, let's make sure we've gotten rid of any distractions we have at the moment. Clear those minds. Stay nice and focused. Okay, if you have your phone on you, no problem. Just make sure it's on silent or off so you don't have that as a distraction. We're just making sure we're warming up the cars, but we're also going to warm up those bodies, warm up our brains as well for the track itself. There may be times we do have to gather up our students because maybe one person is starting to veer off of the pace, or we're getting close to the group in front of us. In those cases, we'll stop on the straightaway as a group. And I'll talk you through about how that happens, okay? Go ahead and follow me, gentlemen. We'll go ahead and start that warm-up lap immediately here. Again, you'll want to stay nice and close as we do this warm-up lap. Now, when we enter the track, we are approached by turn 10. For this corner, and we'll upshift in the third gear, gentlemen. For this corner, we want to be in third gear. We want to be braking firmly at the 2 board. You're waiting for that turn-in cone to be in line with your bumper. You're balancing with the brake at the turn-in. Coast for a second, get to the apex, then accelerate out to the left. Upshift in the 4th gear on the straightaway. About halfway through the straightaway, you're upshifting into 5th gear. Now, coming into our first corner, this is turn 1, we're scanning for that 4 board. That 4 board is going to be our braking point. Once you get there, you're braking firmly at that 4, downshift in the 4th gear, wait for that turn-in cone, balance with that brake, get to the apex, then unwind and accelerate to the left. In our next corner, all you need to do is lift off the throttle at the turn-in cone, rotate into the apex on the right, and accelerate all the way out to the middle where my car's at. Then bring it back to the right. There's a near apex cone here. This gives us a straight wheel for braking. We're braking at that 4 board. You're nice and firm here for this corner. At the turn-in cone, you're turning in quickly all the way into the inside of the corner. Get to that apex, unwind, accelerate, and set her up left. You want to set up right next to this brake cone. Light and long brake pressure. Come up to mid-track with me. Then steer it down to the apex cone as you're decreasing your brake pressure. Unwind and accelerate to the right. We're scanning ahead for an orange apex cone. That is our braking point, nice and firm. Downshift in the 3rd. Balance with the brake, really long here. Turn-in cone to the apex. Unwind, accelerate to the left. Exit sign is our braking point. Turn-in cone on the left. Mid-track here, balancing with the brake. Let her coast all the way into the apex. Then accelerate. Light brake before the turn-in, balance left. Unwind, accelerate to the right. All right, Jack, we're going to start with your fast lap. Drive your own comfortable pace. Brian and Travis, keep that spacing of 6 to 7 car lengths. And make sure we wait for those turn-in cones here, Jack. Scan past my car. And that goes for Brian and Travis as well. Scan past that car in front of you. We're in 5th gear, gentlemen. Wait for those blue turn-in cones to be in line with your front bumper. Scanning ahead here, Jack. We're braking firmly at that 4 board. Now downshifting in the 4th. Wait for that turn-in cone. Balance with that brake in. Good. Unwind, accelerate to the left. At that turn-in cone, simply lift off the throttle slowly. Rotate into the right. Good. Accelerate out to the middle of the track. Now unwind the steering wheel, set her up to the right. Now we're braking firmly at that forward. Set her up to that turn-in cone. Remember, balance with that brake. Bring her into that apex. Let her coast. Now accelerate. Unwind, set her up left, right at that brake cone. Light and long brake pressure up to mid-track. A little bit too high there, Jack. Try to stay a little bit lower next time. Accelerate out to the right. You're braking firmly at this first apex cone, third gear now. Turn in cone left. Good. Unwind, accelerate left. Scan for that exit sign as our braking point. Come out to the middle of the track, stay there. Then bringing it at the very end. Good. Light brake before that turn-in cone. Unwind, accelerate to the right. Set her up left. Brake firm at that two-board. Stay in third gear. Wait for that turn-in. Good. Nice work. Unwind, accelerate to the left. Shift into fourth gear. Scanning ahead here, Jack. Our first corner. We're scanning for that four-board. Nice and firm on that brake at that four. Downshift to fourth gear. Wait for that turn-in cone. Balance with the brake in. Good, nice work. Unwind, accelerate to the left. At the turn-in cone, barely lift off the throttle. Rotate in. Good, accelerate out to the middle. Hang on that throttle, you're bringing it into the right. Scanning for that forward as our braking. Set up at that turn-in cone. Balance that brake all the way into that apex. Good. Unwind, accelerate, set her up left, right next to the brake cone. Stay a little bit lower in the bowl here, only up to mid-track where my car's at. Then bring it down. Good. Better. Unwind, accelerate to the right. Scanning ahead. Firm brake at that apex. Balance at the brake left. Wait for that turn-in. Good. You want to get a little bit closer to that turn-in cone next time. Now I'll show you where that's at. Third gear. In the middle of the track here, stay in the middle, then bring it down. Good, you're hugging that inside a little bit too much in that corner, so I'll slow you down just a little bit to show you the line there. Set her up left now. Brake at that two-board, wait for that turn-in cone to be lined with your car. Good, beautiful. So Jack, we're catching the group in front of us here. I don't want to give you a slow lap, so let's pull over to the right-hand side as a group, gentlemen. Brian and Travis as well will pull over to the right here. We're just catching the group in front of us. I want to be able to get some space from them so Jack can give you a good lap and they don't slow us down here. All right, Jack, we're good to go. Left-hand side, fourth gear, gentlemen, fourth gear. All right, Jack, we're scanning ahead here. Let's start braking. Balance with that brake in. Good. Unwind, accelerate to the left. At the turn-in cone, barely lift off that throttle. Rotate into the right. Good. Accelerate out now. Bring her out to the middle. Now set her up to the right. Upshift into fifth gear. Brake in that forward. Wait for that turn-in. Balance with the brake all the way into that apex. Good. Set her up left, right next to that brake cone. Good. You stay to the right a little bit too long there, Jack, coming out of that last corner. So you want to set her up left a little bit sooner. Unwind and accelerate to the right. We're braking at this first apex cone. Balance with the brake left. Look for that turn-in cone on the left. Good. Better. Light brake at that exit sign. Now follow my line here, Jack. Come out to the middle with me. See how wide I am? This is like the serpentine cones. You bring it down, then you accelerate. Good. Get that straightaway. Bring her into the left. Good. All right. We'll go ahead and slow down our pace, gentlemen. We're going to do our first rotation to Brian on the straightaway. So, Jack, when we get to those double orange cones, you'll pull over to the right-hand side for me and slow your pace. I'll get Brian and Travis right behind me on the left. Jack, follow the white 164 when it passes you. Jack, main thing I want you to work on when you fall to the back there, work on those turn-ins, work on the brake pressures, work on that visual scanning. Doing well so far. Brian, we're coming into our first corner, turn in cone to the left, bring it into the apex, unwind, accelerate to the left here. And for that turn-in cone, breathe off the throttle at the turn-in, bring it into the apex and accelerate out to the middle of the track with me. Now let's bring her into the right, upshift in the fifth gear. Let's start braking at that four-board, downshift in the fourth, wait for that turn-in cone, balance with that brake, bring it into that apex. Good, unwind the steering wheel, set her up left, right next to this brake cone. Good, you stay to the right a little bit too long coming out of that last corner. You want to unwind that steering wheel a little bit sooner and set her up left sooner. Good, accelerate out to the right, scanning ahead, braking at this first apex. Balance with the brake left, wait for that turn-in cone. Good, unwind, accelerate to the left. Lightly brake at the exit sign. Come out to the middle of the track with me, stay in the middle. Bring it down to that apex at the very end. Good, nice work. Light brake before the turn-in. Beautiful. Set her up left now. Brake at that two-board, nice and firm. Wait for that turn-in cone. Beautiful. Bring it in. Awesome. Unwind, accelerate to the left. Upshift in the fourth gear. Now we're in fifth. We're scanning ahead here, Brian, for that four-board. That four-board is our brake point, nice and firm when you get there. Good. Downshift in the fourth. Wait for that turn-in cone. Balance with that brake now. Good. Accelerate out to the left. Staying on that throttle. Now barely lift off that throttle. Rotate in. Back on the throttle. Come out to the middle with me. Staying on the throttle. Bring her into the right. Upshift in the fifth gear. Let's start braking at that four-board. Downshift in the fourth. Wait for that turn-in. Balance with that brake. As soon as you get to this apex cone here, Brian, set her up left with me. Where my car's at. There we go. Light and long brake pressure up to the middle, then down to the left. Beautiful line. Accelerate out to the right. Scanning ahead here, Brian, braking at that first apex cone. Balance with that brake left. Turn in cone up. There you go. Accelerate out to the left-hand side now. Light brake at that exit sign. At the turn-in cone, middle of the track. Stay in the middle. Tighten that steering at the end. Good. Light brake before that turn-in cone. Just set that front end to help you turn. Good. Set her up left now. One more lap. Brake at that two-board. Wait for that turn-in cone. Good. Nice work. Accelerate out to the left. Fourth gear now. Now we're fifth gear. Scanning ahead here, Brian. Braking at that four-board. Downshift in the fourth gear. Wait for that turn-in cone. Good. Balance with that brake. Unwind, accelerate to the left. Staying on that throttle. Wait for that turn-in. Good. Breathe off the throttle. Now accelerate to the middle. Bring her into the right now. Upshift in the fifth gear. Brake firmly at that four-board. Downshift in the fourth. Wait for that turn-in. Balance with that brake. Bring it into the apex. As soon as you get to the apex, set her up left with me. Beautiful. Light, long brake pressure at that brake cone. Up to the middle. Down to the left. Good. Accelerate out to the right. Doing well back there, Jack. Keep it going. Brake at that first apex cone here, Brian. Balance with the brake left. Wait for that turn-in. Good. Accelerate left. Light brake at the exit sign. Third gear. Middle of the track here. Into that apex cone at the very end. Good. Light brake before the turn-in. Transfer it left. Accelerate out to the right. Set her up left. And let's slow down our pace. Beautiful work there, gentlemen. Beautiful work. We're going to do our last rotation to Travis. Now, as you can see, Travis, we have the other group right in front of us here. So I don't want to start with this rotation yet. Travis, you can pull in right behind me. Go ahead and slow down your pace there, Brian. So Travis, you can pull in right behind me. Jack, what I want you to do is pull in right behind that white 164. So Brian, slow your pace for me. I'm gonna get a car right in the middle of you. So Jack, yep, you're gonna pull in right behind that 164. Beautiful. All right, we're good to go. So Travis will upshift that car into fourth gear, starting on the left. Brian, when you fall to the back, work on scanning ahead. Look for those turn-in cones. Work on that brake pressure. All right, turn in on the left, balance with the brake to the right. Good, unwind, accelerate left. With the turn-in cone, barely breathe off the throttle. Rotate in. Good, accelerate out to the middle. Shift into fifth gear. Set her up right. Scan for that floorboard as your braking point. Nice firm brake pressure. Downshift into fourth. You just need a little bit more initial firm brake pressure. See where it's pushing there? Just a little bit of understeer. You're good. Set her up left. Light and long brake pressure up to the middle. Down to the left. Good. You came down to the left a little bit early. Want to bring it down to the left a little bit later. Brake at that first apex. Balance with the brake left. Wait for the turn-in cone. Good. Unwind, accelerate left. Scan for that exit sign as your braking point. Light brake, third gear. Hit track now. Bring it down to that apex at the very end. So you brought it down a little bit too early. See how that car's pushing you a little wide coming out of that corner? I want to stay wider a little bit longer. Get to that apex cone later. I'll show you there next time we get around. Scan for that turning cone. There we go. Good. Accelerate to the left. Fourth gear. Now fifth. We're scanning ahead here, Travis, for that floorboard as our braking point. Nice firm brake pressure when you get there. Downshift into fourth. Wait for that turn-in cone. Balance with the brake. Beautiful. Unwind, accelerate left. With the turn-in cone, breathe off the throttle. Rotate in, get to the apex. Accelerate to the middle of the track now. Shift in the fifth gear, scan for that floorboard. Nice firm brake pressure. Fourth gear. Turning in a little bit quicker here. Follow my line here, Travis. There you go. Unwind, accelerate, set her up right next to the brake cone. Come down into that apex a little bit later. So mid-track, down into the left. Good. Better. Scan ahead. Braking at that first apex cone. Firm brake. Balance left. Wait for the turn-in. Good. I want you to follow my line here, Travis, coming into this next corner. Come out to the middle with me. Stay in the middle, stay in the middle, stay in the middle, then bring it down. There you go. You see that straightaway? That straightaway was much larger than the last time you took a little bit tighter. Let's keep that same line as we go through our next lap. Brake at that too. Wait for that turn-in cone. There you go. You're good. Try not to stare at my car. Fourth gear. Now fifth. Scanning ahead here, Travis. We're braking firmly at that floorboard. Shift in the fourth. Balance with that brake at that turn-in. Good. Unwind, accelerate left. Breathe off that throttle at the turn-in cone. Rotate in. Good. Accelerate out to the middle. Set her up to the right. Fifth gear. Brake firm at that fourth. That turn-in cone, turn in a little bit quicker with me as we release the brake. Follow my car. There you go. Unwind, accelerate, set her up right next to that brake cone. Come up to the middle with me. Then bring it down. There you go. Scan ahead. We have a firm brake at this first apex. Balance left. Wait for that turn-in cone. Good. Nice work. Light brake at the exit sign. Downshift to third gear. Remember, stay wider longer like I showed you last time. We get that longer straightaway here. Good. Light brake before the turn-in. Brake to the right. Good. Set her up left. And let's slow down our pace here, gentlemen. We'll slow down our pace. Beautiful work. All right, that is the end of our session, gentlemen. We'll get everyone nice and close together here, so we'll pull over to the right-hand side here, Travis. Once I see Jack coming out of the corner, we'll pull over to the left. All right, I see you there, Jack. Travis, left-hand side. Jack, you can stay in the middle there. And Brian, you can stay on the left-hand side as well. We'll gather up our group. So everyone get nice and close to each other here. Close up those gaps for me. Beautiful. Make sure we have Brian in the back here. Beautiful. All right. So, in our first corner here, turn 1. Really good job, gentlemen, coming into this corner. You can carry a lot of speed through this corner. However, I want you to build up that pace little by little. It's going to take some time to be able to feel in control of the car through these corners. So as you come out of corner 1, you can be on that throttle all the way in until that turn-in comes. Once you get to the turn-in cone, then you're barely breathing off the throttle just to let her rotate. Once she's rotated to the right, then you're back on that throttle, and that'll push you out to the middle of the track here. You can see on that throttle all the way down this straightaway until you get to that forward. That forward is going to be that braking point again here. Now this is a much tighter corner than turn 1. This one you have to brake a little bit more firm into this corner. Follow my line here. At that turn-in cone, I'm bringing it in a little bit quicker than you would imagine, quicker than you would think, right? You carry a lot of speed when you turn in at that point because you get to that apex cone right on time and you've got that longer straightaway. Now again, notice how I'm setting up right to the left at that brake cone. This makes sure that I can get up to the middle right in time and right down into the left and get a better straightaway. If you come a little bit too high into what we call the bowl, right back there where we're at, if you come up too high, now you have to add more steering down into the apex. If you stay too low, well now you're not going to get to that apex cone until very, very late, which means your straightaway is much shorter coming out. And this corner here that we're coming out of can be pretty tricky. You do have to hold a very long brake coming into that corner itself, just because they're very tight corners back to back to back. Left blinker here, gentlemen, will exit the track. So in that section there, that first apex you see on the right-hand side, you brake right there. But you don't just immediately release the brake. You're going to start releasing that brake slowly as you come into the next 2 corners. Then, feel how the car is feeling, right? Am I getting grip to the front? And honestly, like I said, it takes a little bit of time to feel that out. Try not to rush it. Again, drive your own comfortable pace, but start to build the pace little by little by little. I am going to grab your lap times from you when we get back to the building here. So when we get parked, go ahead and roll down your driver window for me. I'm going to come to each one of you, grab your lap time from you, and then we'll head back in the building for our last exercise.